right, today I'm talking about 3 Soviet films, all directed by this guy. And the names of those 3 films are Ivan's Childhood, Solaris, and Mir. First up is Ivan's Childhood. This is a 1962 film, and the basic premise is this is a World War II film, and Ivan is this 12-year-old child who is orphaned, and the Soviets have recruited him to be a scout for them. And it's really just him doing that. And it's pretty good. It's definitely a beautiful movie with some incredible shots, and it's an interesting story. It's a bit slow at times. I will say though, with this director, I've watched a number of his films, and I don't always really understand him. He does very dreamlike things that are super metaphorical, and it just goes way over my head. He's not really a director for me. That being said though, this film I feel like is the most I've ever understood him, because like it's fairly straightforward, and though there are dream sequences, I feel like they were very well defined, and I understood the metaphors and stuff within the dreams, so that was good. So this is the most of his films that I've ever understood. So if I was going to recommend any one of his films, it would be this one. It's fairly straightforward, and it's a good story told pretty well. I will say it wasn't until the end of the film that kind of pushed it into the quite like section. It had a really good ending, and the beauty of the whole thing kind of overwhelmed me. So yeah, it's a pretty good film that I would recommend. Next up is Solaris. This is a 1972 sci-fi film, and the basic premise is in the future we've discovered this planet that makes some weird shit happen. I'm gonna be vague because, well, just because. I could be more specific. I would say it's a little more fun to kind of figure out what's going on. This gives very, very strong 2001: A Space Odyssey vibes, and apparently the director had not seen that film before he made this one, and actually dislikes 2001, but it's very, very similar in vibe, because it's a slow, quiet film that just takes its time doing stuff. And that's unfortunate, because it's so boring. Like, there's literally a 5-minute sequence of just driving around on Japanese interstates. And like, it's interesting for like 30 seconds-ish, but then it's just more footage of the Japanese interstates. Like, there's no dialogue, it's just a car going down a road in first person. That's it. The movie definitely picked up when he got to space, which took way too long. This movie is very bloated. And like, the sci-fi concepts are super, super interesting. The issue is just the movie's really boring. Like, this could really do from a fan edit that just like trims it down to just a nice short 90 minutes probably would be enough. There's good stuff in this film. Like, even the special effects are really solid, and I think the actors gave good performances. It's just so slow and boring at times that it makes it for a tough watch and a difficult recommend. If you think you can handle it, I would cautiously say go for it, but yeah. I mean, it is good, it's just difficult, so. And lastly is Mir. This is a 1975 film, and I have no fucking idea what this movie is. Like, I watched this movie, I read every single line of dialogue, and I could not tell you for the life of me what this film is about. I know that like there's some childhood stuff, and then there's some adult stuff, and we don't ever see the narrator as an adult, I don't think, and his wife looks a suspicious amount like his mother. It may have been played by the same actor. I don't know, I didn't bother to look it up. And yeah, I assumed the women were the main characters, but then like reading the premise on IMDb, I discovered I really truly didn't know what this movie was about. Which, I mean, I kind of already knew, but this just kind of really threw me for a loop, because what IMDb says is a dying man in his 40s remembers his past, his childhood, his mother, the war, personal moments, and things that tell the recent history of all the Russian nation. Sure, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I got no idea. The only thing I do like about this movie is that on the Criterion subreddit, the top post of all time is a really funny video making fun of the poster. So that, yeah, that's nice. I like that. This movie? No. Sorry if you understand it and like it. I didn't. All Alright, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Ivan's Childhood sitting at number 47 in the quite like section. And then after that is Solaris sitting at number 51 in the liked section. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is Mir sitting at number 69 in the didn't like section. And this is out of a total of 72 old movies so far this year.